We're gonna continue our AWS WAF lab demonstration. This time, we will delve into Insecure Direct Object References, or IDOR. Sometimes people call it Broken Access Control. It's related, but Broken Access Control is broader, as it encompasses various security issues related to improper handling of user permissions and access rights. In our lab demo, we will first test our hacksite, our vulnerable web application. We will test it's vulnerable to IDOR. Then we're gonna update our existing web ACL. We will add a new rule, and let's see if it can prevent IDOR. I'm here now in our EC2 console home. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna click load balancers under load balancing, and we have this Styx ELB load balancers. I'm gonna click it, and I will copy the DNS name so that we can access our application, and this web application is via our Styx ELB. So we know that servers or EC2s are load balanced every time we access this web application. Next, under load balancer Styx ELB, I'm gonna click integrations, and under AWS WAF, I'm gonna click this arrow. You will see that this load balancer has WAF on, and we're gonna edit or update our web ACL, okay, named web poll. So I will just click view web ACL. There you go. We are now in the page where we can edit our rules. But before we create rules, I will click first this Regex pattern set. I'm gonna click it and open in a new tab. The reason why we need this because we want to use this in preventing IDOR. And speaking of IDOR, let's test our web application if it's vulnerable to IDOR. So the first thing that I'm gonna do is I'm gonna click sign in, and I will supply our username, test user, with a password of test123. There you go. We have successfully logged into our web application. The next thing that I'm gonna do is I'm gonna click change password. As you can see, it's pretty normal, right? This is a page where we can change the password of our logged in user test123. And look at the URL. It's the Styx ELB blah blah blah.com, and then this path change dash password. So it's pretty normal. What's not normal is if I change this URL, if I append a value, let's say /10. Oh, what happened? Is this the same? No, it's not. We are logged in as test user, but we are allowed to change the password of this specific username, Dean_Armada. Okay, and this is an IDOR vulnerability. Now, what if I change another value? From 10, I change it to 5. Oh, this is a different username again. We are allowed to change it. The username is Dean123. Again, this is an IDOR vulnerability. This app is vulnerable to Insecure Direct Object References, or IDOR. And there are many ways to prevent IDOR, but what we will do is we'll create a rule that blocks a URI path using Regex pattern. So let's first go to Regex pattern set page, and I'm gonna click Regex pattern set, and I'm gonna name this Regex pattern to change password, and the description, we'll skip it. Region is Singapore because this is where my location at, and I'm gonna show you 3 Regex options. So the first one will be ending with D plus $sign. What does this mean? Well, let's explain later. Before that, before we delve into these 3 options, let's first copy this path, change _password. Okay, I'm gonna simply paste change dash, not underscore, change dash password. So they all have the same path. The difference is the last few characters or regex patterns. So what are the difference? Well, first off, having this path change dash password matches the literal string. So we are matching this path. Whatever happens, we're gonna match this path in our regex pattern. So the difference between, or the difference among these three options is the first one, backslash D plus $. This matches one or more numeric characters or digits. So meaning change password backslash 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it will match. So basically this will work. Okay. What about the second and the third option? So let's check. This one, dot, asterisk, and $. This matches any characters, not just numeric characters. It can be also alpha characters. But the problem here is it will also matches empty or blank spaces. So meaning this will be matched. This also be matched. But the problem is if I go to the actual page where we change the password of our logged in user, test user, this will also match. And the legit page will be blocked. So in short, the second option is incorrect. Okay, we're not gonna use it. How about the third option? The third option is better than the first one because it matches not only digits or numeric characters, numeric values, excuse me. It also matches any characters. Yes, it matches any non-white space characters. So that means it will not match this because it has empty value, okay, after the change password slash. But anything you add like 10, 5, etc., this will also be matched. So meaning I can use this. This is to any characters, but not white spaces. Okay, and this is for any numerical characters. Okay, or digits. So what I will do is I will just choose one of these two, but this one is better. The third option is better. So what I'm gonna do next is I'm gonna click create regex pattern set. Okay, and there you go. We already have the new regex pattern set. Change password. That's the name. Next is I'm gonna add a rule. Back in our web ACL web poll, I will click add rules and I will select the second one, add my own rules and rule groups. So I selected this and I'm gonna name this IDOR protection there. Okay, the type will be regular rule. I will leave this as the default, matches the statement. The inspect, I will choose URI path. Like what we mentioned, we're gonna block the URI. Okay, the match type would be a match or matches pattern from regex pattern set. And as I select this option, there's a new select box here, regex pattern set. And if I click this select box, you see that the change password regex pattern set that we just created is now available. I'm gonna select these. Now under text transformation, I will just select HTML entity decode and lowercase. There. Okay, the action will be blocked. I'm gonna click add rule. And there you go. We have now our third rule. I'm gonna click save. There. Okay, we have successfully updated our web ACL named web poll. Now let's test. So this is an IDOR because we append /10. Okay. What I'm gonna do is I will just click change password. Okay, so it's normal. We're still able to access the change password page, the original, because this is our logged in user, test user. But if I append 10, oh, there you go. Okay, we are now blocked. Okay, what else? How about other values? 7, we're still blocked. 5, how about alpha characters? Let's say test. We are still blocked. And there you go. Our rule that prevents IDOR is working properly. This is just the basics of AWS Web Application Firewall or AWS WAF, focusing on blocking IDOR on web applications. In the next videos, we will explore more AWS WAF features and of course, more web hacking.